And this will be the surprise of your dive.
Not a big jellyfish like
No,
a surprise.
no. Okay, so we are in Xlendi Bay in Gozo, Malta. We're staying here for a whole week. We're gonna be exploring the island and also lots of scuba diving. Gozo is sort of like the baby sister island of Malta. Malta, the other island. It's a bit confusing. I was quite confused. Malta is like the country, but at the same time Malta is one of the islands. And then there's Gozo, which is a different island. Basically, if I say I'm in Malta, some people might say, no, you're not in Malta, you're in Gozo. But at the same time, because it's a different island, but at the same time it's the same country. So it's sort of confusing. Here is my friend Alicia.
Hey.
She's an awesome photographer. I'm gonna make sure I leave the link below so you can give her a follow. We arrived from Barcelona. It took us a couple of hours to get here. It was quite a quick flight and also cheap. It was around 50 euros just the ticket to get here. We rented a car. The car was around 142 euros, I think, for a whole week, including the insurance. So that's very cheap. I definitely recommend having a car so you can move around. So later today we're going to be exploring a bit more about the island. We're going to go to St. Andrew's Divers Cove. That's the dive center we're going to be diving with for the whole week. So we're going to be talking about the plan for the next few days. So anyways, this is Xlendi Bay. Have a look. This is amazing. This looks great, like looks amazing. Oh look, we can see more of the Xlendi Bay on that side. Looks really nice. Well, maybe you cannot see it from here. Let's see. Anyways, we're going to the dive center now. We're gonna talk to these guys and see what's up for the next days.
The dives we all hear about, the famous ones, you know, the Blue Hole Inland Sea. This is the west coast here, and we're very, very, very well positioned. We're simply very near. In 10 minutes away by boat, for example, it's a 20-minute car ride, or 10 minutes by boat. That's the famous Blue Hole, you know, where the window was and which fell down.
Yeah, we saw that.
Blue Hole, and the Inland Sea, which is near it here. That's the west coast. Then there's the north coast. This side here in the north, these are beaches. So they're nice beaches.
Yep.
Not much diving. The best dives on the north coast are here. Xwejni Bay from Marsalforn to the left, to the west.
So from,
Okay, so there, we're trying to do something there tomorrow because I'm afraid that after tomorrow, looking at this forecast, it may not be possible to go for at least 2-3 days.
Oh wow.
So we'll have to do the west and the south, which is still very good. Don't worry, we have lots to do.
So we just left St. Andrew's Divers Cove. We met with Mark and he's awesome. Like, he gave us a lot of information about the dive sites. We're starting our dive tomorrow morning, very early. And we're gonna go now have lunch in one of these places, these local restaurants that Mark recommended. So we'll see what they got here. Hey, what's up? Let's go. Looks like they don't like speed. There's like slow down signs everywhere. In the highway, they have signs that you gotta go at 50 kilometers per hour or 60. I think it's the maximum I've seen. Nobody does it. I think the only people going on 30 or 50 or 60 kilometers per hour is just tourists, I think. I don't know. I'll just follow the locals. Since Malta is an ex-British colony, here they drive like the British way. It's on the left side of the road, and also like the wheel on the right side of the car. It's going well so far.
Yeah, going well. I'm glad I don't have to drive.
It's been a very interesting day exploring around Gozo, and here looks like so ancient. Also very quiet island. If you're looking for a place to chill, Gozo is a good option. And now we're back in Xlendi Bay. There isn't a lot here, it's like a very small town, but It's so beautiful. Okay, day 2 in Gozo, Malta. Today is supposed to be our first scuba diving day. At this moment, we're not sure if we're going to be able to scuba dive at all. Weather conditions are really bad at the moment. It's very windy, it's even drizzling right now. We were told about very strong wind coming from the northwest, but we expected it to be in a few days. We woke up today, surprise, really bad conditions. We're gonna have our coffees, go to the dive center and hope we can scuba dive. This is a scuba diving trip. We don't scuba dive. Doesn't make any sense. We'll see. Let's go.
We can do something. We can load the car as if we did 2 dives. We're gonna do 2 dives. And if it's not possible, we come back here and do another one in the south. If it's possible, we all still have the opportunity to do a second one in the north. Sounds okay?
That's perfect.
Sounds great.
Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
That was sexy.
Nice move. Oh my god.
This is the place where we are gonna dive. It's called the Xwejni Bay. We're gonna start on this slipway over here and just do a short tour here over the bay. We are gonna go to the rocks here, 6 meters.
Yeah.
We'll just go through these rocks and come back here on the sand.
So after finishing our first dive, it was pretty easy, chill one. Now we're going to the second dive site of the day. Gauthier, our guide, just told us that there's a surprise there. It's a different dive site than what I've usually done before. We have to go down and then surface, and then we're gonna go down again. The reason why, we don't know yet. We're about to figure it out.
Maybe it's not gonna go better down, you know? Yes,
If we go down, we will need at least 5 minutes to leave this little river. I mean 5 minutes in the surface plus 5 minutes underwater. At a certain point, we'll see the open water just in front of us. You will find beautiful rocks, lots of fishes, okay? Also Posidonia. After 10 minutes, we are gonna find a cave. We can explore this cave. And at a certain point, we will surface, and this will be the surprise of your dive, okay?
Not a big jellyfish like
No,
a surprise.
no.
Alright, so we just came out of the second dive. Lots of small fish. We saw a big octopus, actually the biggest one I've ever seen. Beautiful Cathedral Cave, what's it name?
Cathedral Cave.
Cathedral Cave. And on the way back, like beautiful crystal clear water. But what we saw the most was jellyfish. And they saw me, and they saw my ankles, and they hurt me. But it's okay, I'm alive, boom. In Gozo, there aren't many sandy beaches, and I just came to Ramla Beach, one of the few sand beaches in Gozo. I just took my shoes off, and the sand feels amazing, so soft. Like this is just like powder. I don't know, it's so soft, so different to what I'm used to in Barcelona. Oh, look. Okay, day 3 in Gozo Island. Conditions today are worse than yesterday. Probably today is gonna be the worst weather of the week. We're not very lucky. That's how it is. You know, like when you do this kind of sports, you cannot control the weather. Or you just roll with it. Today it's very windy, it's very cold, but we're gonna go anyways. Alicia's gonna start doing her advanced certification. I'm gonna be scuba diving with a team from St. Andrews Divers Cove. I'm gonna get ready, finish my coffee and head to St. Andrews Divers Cove. Let's go. So I'm about to have one of these traditional Maltese food. It's called pastissi, like a chicken pastissi. It's pretty good. Looks nice. It's also pretty cheap. Like this was €1 and a coffee 60 cents. So €1 and 60 for both. That's great. It's a very cheap breakfast. Let's try it.
¿Está bueno? ¿O no?
Yeah.
¿Sí?
It is really good.
probar.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Love it. And then I'm gonna have another one. Yeah, this is great. Great breakfast. If you come to Xlendi Bay, make sure you eat here. The name of the place is Snack Shack. It's right in front of St. Andrews Divers Cove. Really good. Highly recommend it. Fabulous. On our way to our second dive day of the trip. Today we're going with Simon. He's gonna be our guide and instructor from France. We got Alicia in the back. Shitty weather, we don't care. We dive anyways.
As you can see, we'll go diving there. For the entry, we'll take everything on the back, walking just 30 meters. There is a ladder, and go on the water. Okay? Just swim a little bit, just before the entry. So we have to stay really close to the bottom, because I think when we come back, there is more boats, so they take the same way than us. So don't go on the surface. If you have a problem and you go on the surface, stay very close to the side.
And that's how you lose the attention of your divers. Back.
Start on the bottom, but after 2 or 3 meters, we can go more deep. And after tunnel, we go on the left side, so we have to come back. So after maybe when you have 110 bar, and we start to come back. A lot of nudie branch, firefish, some scorpion fish, also. Maybe some barracuda on the blue, maybe tuna, if you are lucky.
We just finished our dive at Inland Sea. Conditions are getting worse and we got a, how do you say, a baja? Yeah.
Down.
We got a, Alicia's down. Yeah, she's decided not to dive on the next one because it's very cold, so I understand. And it's raining now. We're gonna have a hot drink, warm ourselves, and then Simon and I are gonna go on a dive. So we'll be there soon. Boom. So we just came back and finished our dives for today. Actually, at the end, we did only one dive. For the second one, conditions were not great. Simon, our guide, he was feeling a bit sick. He was a little bit in pain because he told me he had a cold recently. Alicia was feeling very cold. I was feeling cold. I think my body was okay for a second dive. Since the conditions are not the best, I think it wouldn't be like a very enjoyable dive. So yeah, we decided to just come back home. It's not bad to come back, have a rest and have a nice lunch because we're starving. I don't know about you, but every time I go diving, like I feel so hungry. If you feel the same way, like leave it in the comments below. For me, what I want after diving is a burger. Let me know what you like to eat after a dive. I think when you dive, you have to be 100% sure you want to dive. If you don't, just keep it for the day, it's fine. There's always a next opportunity to do it. For us, luckily, we still have like 3 more days that we can dive. Again, we were told that tomorrow is gonna be really bad weather. lots of waves. Some dive sites will not be accessible for tomorrow. We're gonna be well rested. So for the moment, I'm gonna finish this and go find a really nice Maltese burger. By the way, I just got this from Sea Frogs. You guys are awesome. Like, I ordered this just a few days ago when I was in Barcelona, and I got it delivered to Gozo, like really quickly. I think it was just like 4 or 5 days. So this is great service. So thanks a lot. Day 4 in Xlendi Bay, Gozo. Finally, sun is shining. The good weather is coming. It's getting warmer. It's crazy. Like yesterday, the weather was so bad. I was actually a little bit annoyed because I didn't do the second dive. Since we didn't do the second dive, we visited some sites like the Cittadella. It was very nice, very interesting. The history is just crazy. Malta and Gozo have been through so much for thousands of years. But I guess that like all that history is what made Malta what it is right now. Such a multicultural place with such a unique language. I'm gonna finish my coffee, head down to St. Andrew's Divers Cove. We're gonna plan the dive for today, so let's go. So I'm back today near the Blue Hole. Yesterday we were here. The conditions were not great, so we decided not to dive. So today I'm back with Pier. The sun is shining. It's gonna be awesome.
Five years ago, 6 years ago, there was a window here. If you look all the photo of Gozo, there is a window open that broke down 6 years ago during one night, storm night. Nobody see it going down. For the dive, we'll go there by Coral Garden. It's a little bit not so easy. At the beginning, it's between 5 and 7 meters, and after we'll go out of Coral Garden there, that way, and there will be like a drop, and we'll go to 15, 18 meters. The drop is to 30 meters, but it's not just, it's nice because you go out at 7 meters out of Coral Garden and there is just the drop. After we go around Coral Garden and we'll find at 18 meters a chimney. We'll take it. The chimney is at 16 meters and go out at 9 meters. And after after the chimney, we'll go along all that stone and go inside Coral Garden here. There is a cave, a little cave. We go in the cave. It's 22 meters, more or less, 22 meters. Go out of the cave. Just go and see a little bit all the stone that fell down with off as the window. After come back and go out the blue hole. Go out by this way.
Awesome.
Okay, let's go. Perfect.
So I just came back home from my first dive of the day. It was amazing. Beautiful colors, lots of fish, like tiny fish here and there. And also I wasn't as cold as yesterday. As soon as we came out of the water, it was sunny. Very happy with this dive. So later we're diving again in Xlendi Bay. That's why I came back home. Have lunch. And I went back to these guys in front of the dive center, St. Andrew's Divers Cove. It's so cheap and so good. I paid €2 for this. This is full of chicken and mushroom. Really nice. So yeah, now talking about food and prices, here in Gozo, there's a big range of prices. It can go from €1 for a pastry. That's pretty good. You can have 2 and you'll be fine. That's breakfast, perfectly fine. You can find restaurants a little bit with higher prices, like €10, €12, which is okay. and then above that too. I guess these ones are more like targeting a specific niche of the tourist, which is great. You have like a range of prices that can be adjusted to your budget. Also, we've been shopping in Lidl supermarket. Prices are very similar to Barcelona, maybe slightly higher, maybe on some products, but in general more or less the same. If you're trying to travel on a budget, that's a good way to do it. Just go to the supermarket, get some food, cook yourself. It's also healthier. I'm not the best example right now. I have only 1 hour to come back home, have lunch, make this video, and then get back in the water. Continue with this topic about prices. I actually haven't checked prices for accommodation here. This apartment where I'm staying, I got it for free. So I use this app called Home Exchange. You exchange your home with other people and then you get to stay for free. You do have to pay for for a membership. It's a very fair price. I think it's like 150 euros per year. Then you have like unlimited exchanges. The most expensive part of traveling is usually accommodation. This video is not sponsored by Home Exchange. If you guys are watching, that'd be cool to arrange some sort of deal. I am saying what I think about this app. I've had really good experiences. I've gone to Budapest, Paris, now in Xlendi Bay. I do recommend this app. I'm gonna leave the link below so you can just click there and sign up. If you do sign up, you're gonna get some points and I'm gonna get some points as well. Enough to pay for like a night or two in accommodation using points instead of exchanging homes. I'm gonna finish my lunch and get ready and go for my next dive. Let's go.
Okay, now you can start slowly to go down. Was it cold?
It is cold, but not like crazy cold. It's average cold.
Average cold. There is only true cold.
Not colder than yesterday. Conditions better, very sunny, but it's windy as f***. It's so windy. I'm actually very cold now, but it's sunny, so that's good. And the plan for today, I'm running late as usual. Big shout out to the crew in St. Andrew's Divers Cove for being so patient with me. It's not easy like carrying with all this gear. And we're going to one of the top, I think it's the top, like the #1 dive site in Gozo. This is a place that I've been seeing online for years. I didn't even know about Gozo yet. I just knew about this place in the Mediterranean. So I'm not gonna tell you yet. You will see it yourself. So we just arrived at the Xatt L-Ahmar area where the Karwela shipwreck is. Today is just amazing. Weather conditions are great. It's a bit windy, at least it's nice and sunny compared to the last few days. Today is just amazing. The Karwela shipwreck is a place that I've been wanting to dive for a very long time, since the very first time I saw it on Instagram. I didn't even know where it was. I just saw it and I was like, I want to scuba dive here one day. Today is the day, finally. I don't know if it's ever happened to you that you see like a place online where you really want to go. No, just for scuba diving. A place that you find like, I really want to go to this place one day. So for me, today's that day. Today is gonna be the highlight of this trip. This is one of the main dive sites in Gozo. When people come scuba diving here, they usually ask for two places, the Blue Hole and the Karwela shipwreck. No more talking, let's get our gear ready and jump in the water. Let's go. just finished our dive at the Karwela shipwreck and it was absolutely amazing. We're very lucky also, we were the only 2 divers in the shipwreck. There were like 10 divers before we jumped in. We've decided this is the last dive of the trip. It's like the cherry on top. We saved the best dive for the last. Now we're just going back to Xlendi Bay to relax, enjoy my last couple of days in Gozo. You want to say anything here?
No, it was wonderful. I was very pleased to dive with you and to make you discover that the Karwela Wreck.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Pierre. All right, let's go. Boom. What an absolutely amazing day today. Scuba diving the Karwela shipwreck, just amazing. The lighting inside is, you gotta do it yourself. You'll see what I mean. Light coming through the windows, that blue water in Gozo is just different to what I had seen before. We stayed at around 35 meters because my housing, my camera housing is rated up to 40 meters. Max depth is around 45 meters. I don't think you have to. I think at 35 it was perfect. Like, I saw it all. After that, met with the crew, St. Andrew's Divers Cove. Amazing people. Big shout out to them. It's been an amazing experience. The crew is great. They're so nice. Shout out to Mark too for organizing everything. I'm still 2 more days in Malta. You know, after scuba diving, you have to let your body release all the nitrogen before taking a plane. I'm gonna be just exploring around. I'm gonna be showing you places about the history of Gozo. We're talking about thousands of years of history. A very rich mix of history and culture all in one. So today was my last dive, but my trip is still on. So now I'm just gonna chill because tomorrow is gonna be a long day. See you guys again soon. So day number 6 in Gozo, Malta. Today we're not diving anymore because we're flying tomorrow back to Barcelona. So we are exploring the island. Right now we are in Ġgantija. This place, very interesting history about the old times, like we're talking about 10,000 of years ago, and Neolithic times. There's some constructions here and they show like tools and the way people used to live by then. Today we got Alicia. She's celebrating. She's got certified as an advanced diver. And we got Maria, my friend. We met in Australia like quite a few years ago, like 4 or 5.
4 years ago.
Yeah, we used to work together at the Great Barrier Reef. We hadn't seen each other in a very long time, and now we're meeting here in Gozo. That's why I love traveling. You meet people, and then you can see them again somewhere around the world. Everybody should travel. Anyways, we're gonna continue exploring this place. We'll see what else we find later. Boom. And we just arrived in the Tapino Sanctuary. This is, well, listen to the bell, just started. This place was built between 1920 and 1932. Nowadays, one of the most iconic and visited places in Gozo. Now let's go inside and see what we find. So today, day number 7, and actually the last day of this trip. There's this little hill right in front of the apartment where I'm staying that I've been looking at every single day and wanting to hike. I also wanted to use this time to talk about my channel. For me as a diver, I've noticed that there's a lack of information about dive sites and places where to scuba dive. Sometimes you might find some blogs, very old websites with some information, maybe some people briefly talking about diving on social media, maybe like on Instagram, maybe TikTok sometimes, but there aren't lots of options, if there's any at all. I found some very old school channels. They don't really show the information the way most of us consume information these days. Hence, I decided to start my own channel. Next trip is gonna be the Canary Islands, and then many more trips. So you make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can follow up the future trips. I'm talking about how difficult it is to find channels like this one. I understand, it's not easy, like it's actually quite complicated. You gotta have many skills, starting with how to use a camera, how to take a photo, how to make a video, how to write a story, how to tell a story, then how to edit this video, these photos. And then on top of that, you gotta know how to scuba dive. You gotta know how to make photos and videos underwater. And then on top of that, you gotta have the gear. If you wanna show the place, you gotta have a drone, tripod, proper camera, underwater housing. There's so much involved. So I know there's a big learning curve in order to do all of this. Luckily, I don't wanna like tap myself on the back, you know, but I do have all these skills. And then on top of that, for this channel, I want to create awareness about the marine life, about the environment, about how we all can help, even if it's a little bit, like it counts, to preserve our planet. Because at the end, it's our home. We all live here. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna go back to the apartment. So I have to rush packing my things. See you soon. So last day in Gozo. Today we're in Victoria. I don't know what's going on here today. Like this is the busiest day I've seen here for a week. But we haven't really explored Victoria yet. So let's see what we find. At the moment we're looking for a souvenir for Alicia. She's buying photos. I don't know why. Like we're both photographers. Doesn't make any sense. And with us, the one and only Simon, our guide. We went to inland together, right?
Yes.
A big shout out to Simon here. He's got some sick macro photography on his Instagram page. I'm gonna leave the link below so you can give him a follow. All right, let's find this souvenir for Alicia.
Okay, the home. No, for the home.
So now that I'm back in Barcelona, I want to give you my final thoughts about Gozo as a scuba diving destination. So now let's talk about the pros and cons. Let's start with the pros. First of all, it is relatively cheap. Mostly if you're in Europe, you can find very cheap tickets. Also depending on the season, but most of the year it is relatively cheap. It is also very easy to access. The distance is not long from most places in Europe. Also in Gozo, distances are very short. The longest distance that I had inside the island was around 20 minutes, so it is very easy to reach any point on the island. In Gozo you will find dive sites for all levels. However, I do recommend you get your advanced certification. Also, you might need to do some specialties like shipwrecks or caves, so you can do all the dive sites in Gozo. For example, the shipwrecks are too deep for open water level, so you will need an advanced certification. If you don't get your certification beforehand, that's okay. You can get it in Gozo. It will take you just 2 or 3 days. Something also positive about Gozo is that you can find many shore dives, so you don't need to take a boat for every dive site. There are a few that you will need to get a boat, but there's so many good dive sites. Like basically I didn't do any boat dive. All the entries that I did were from the shore. In Gozo you will find very good weather most of the year. Maybe in my case I was a little bit unlucky that I found myself in the rain and a bit cold and windy, but most of the time they have really good weather. But like any other dive trip, make sure to check the weather, the conditions before you plan your trip to Gozo. If you're into shipwrecks and caves, Gozo is a place to go. You will find plenty of them to explore underwater. So of course, now let's talk about the cons about Gozo. One of the first ones that I found is not about diving, it's about driving. First of all, they drive on the opposite side of the road. I mean, like the opposite for most countries. They do it the British way. And on top of that, like the streets are very narrow, and I found that most drivers, they just don't stop. They just keep on going, so you gotta move on the side or try to maneuver in a way so you don't crash. So yeah, keep that in mind when you go to Gozo. You're not a very skilled driver, so you gotta be extra careful or find a good driver for you. Gozo is not a destination for partying. You go to Gozo, you will find lots of history, lots of culture, lots of diving of course, but not a lot of party. So if you want to dive and party, maybe Gozo is not the best place for you. I do not recommend partying on a dive trip. You want to be at your best, at your A game when you scuba dive. You don't want to be tired, you don't want to be hungover. You're more likely to feel sick if you have drinks and party and don't sleep properly when you are diving. In Gozo, there isn't lots of sea life. I did see a few fish here and there. I saw a few barracudas, some octopus, but I didn't get to see anything that I found extraordinary. So, as I said before, there's lots of shore dives in Gozo, which can be good in most cases. However, not all the shore dives in Gozo are easy to access. You gotta be strong and fit so you can carry all of this gear. And of course, after getting off the water, then you have to bring it back to your car. So in overall, I find Gozo as a great diving destination. Mostly if you're in Europe, it's so easy to access and so affordable that it's a place to go. And actually, I made a Google Maps for you to download. I'm gonna leave the link below so you can click, download the map on your phone, and you will have all the places that I've shown you in the video. You will find everything on this map, including dive sites, cultural places, where to buy your groceries, and everything you need on the map. You will find it there, so make sure to download it. I want to give special thanks to St. Andrew's Divers Cove for making this trip an amazing experience for me. They organized all the dives that I've done on this trip, and I'm very grateful for that because I had a great time with all the crew and diving, and it's been an amazing experience. So I'm gonna leave their details on the description of this video so you can reach out to them when you go to Gozo. And if you stay till this point of the video, I want to thank you as well. I truly appreciate the support. And if you have found any value on this video, consider subscribing and following up on my next dive trips. So that's it for now. See you next time. And remember, always have fun, but dive safe. Ciao, ciao.